We're talking about confirmations, and there's a New York Times story about friend of the show, past guest, potential future guest, Alice Johnson, to be named border czar. Or not border czar, pardon czar. Pardon czar. Sorry, Tom Homan. Alice Johnson's deporting illegals now. She's the pardon czar, or the rumor is that she might be appointed pardon czar. Past and future guest, we think that that's interesting, and I certainly wish her the best of luck. I couldn't think of a better person to do something like that. What do we think about that?
Put some respect on her name. It's Miss Alice.
Miss Alice Johnson.
Okay, well, I'm reading your favorite newspaper. It says Trump may name Alice Johnson to be pardon czar.
You're reading the New York Times? Well,
I'm looking at the headline.
I think it's great. I mean, look, she is a prime example. I think out of his first term, there are a few things that stood out as kind of like brighter wins than that. And I think, because she's an actual person, like who's representative of his policies, it sells it even more. And I think it's great that she's hopefully going to do that. I think it would be phenomenal. And I think it gives people, or I would hope it gives people some reassurance, because there is that like wing of the conservative movement that feels that people shouldn't be pardoned, and like if they did it, like all that kind of stuff. And I think seeing her as an example of what could be is gonna maybe soften some people to it as it goes forward, give them some confidence.
Yeah, it's hard to hear her story and not soften to it a little bit. I would love this if this happens. Could I see Trump doing it? Yeah. I could see him doing it. I think he trusts Alice. I think that he knows that she knows there's bad dudes in there or bad ladies in there, but there's also good people who just haven't got a chance. And how I would approach this is I would get the Musk team and team them up with Alice and get all that DOJ data and start doing some AI to find the good people in there, start using AI tech to find the good people in there. Cause you could qualify it like, who's in there for a sentence that they wouldn't be still serving if they were sentenced today, kind of questions you could ask the AI machine, and it would pop out all the people. The problem is, how do you find the needles in the haystack? That's always the challenge as somebody who went through the pardon process in 2020. It's like, how do you find these folks? How do you vet them? Mm-hmm. But I think combining like Alice's experience with here's how you identify good people in prison, whether they are completing certificates or they don't have any disciplinary actions, or maybe they're in there for 3 strikes law, or maybe they were abused by the prosecutor or the trial penalty. There's some things you could put into AI with that big data set and probably find some really good people. So I hope that this rumor is true, and I hope they use some tech to really give Alice or whoever they appoint to this the tools to find all the good people in prison and get them out.
Charles, he mentioned her teaming up with Elon Musk and the Doge team. And last week you were saying the Doge team is too young. They need to be 30. I wonder if this applies now.
That's not what I said.
I think it's what you said.
No, it isn't. I said, I'm not going back to last week, but I think those kids are going to do a great job on this stuff. I mean, I think they have proven themselves to be very smart young kids, and yeah, I think that team could do a lot of great work when it comes to using tech to kind of evaluate a lot of these people. It's certainly better than trying to use your, well, maybe not, but comparable to trying to use your best judgment.
Yeah, and if you look at the data, there's 170,000 federal prisoners, give or take. Of that, only 12,000 have submitted clemency applications, so they're advocating for their release. And as somebody who's gone through a lot of those, they're not all good candidates for clemency. So how many people are just like going through their day-to-day in prison? They got a long sentence, but they're not really trying to get out. They've just kind of agreed with their fate. And we could use those AI tools to really figure out who those people are and vet them and maybe give them a second chance at life. That's how I would envision this working really well.
I agree.
Okay. I hope she gets it.